Good afternoon, welcome to Flight UM690 with Captain Dave. We will be taking a brief tour of London via the MinisForum UM690 gaming mini PC. We start our trip with a flyby of the DroiX office on your right. Did you know that you can collect your orders from here if you can't wait for delivery? Next we have the Millennium Dome, now called the O2 Arena, where you can buy overpriced food and drinks. Whilst we reach our next destination, the UM690 mini PC is great for gaming on. It has the AMD Ryzen 9 6900HX with AMD Radeon 680M graphics. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a very demanding game, so we are running at 720p with the low settings. You can tweak a few settings to medium if you want to. We are now flying over Docklands. It's where the rich people go to get even richer. Next, we will follow the River Thames for a bit. Overall, Flight Sim runs okay on the UM690. For the most part, we stay above 30 frames per second, with some rare frame drops when loading in scenery. This is a demanding game, so it does a good job and is definitely playable at these settings. Should we fly through Tower Bridge? Nailed it. On the left we have the Shard building, and on the right you can see the Gherkin and Walkie Talkie buildings. We like giving nicknames to things. Did you know that the Shard was going to be called the Shard of Glass, but it rhymes with us? On our left we have the Millennium Wheel. Hands up if you remember the Namco arcade just past it. Next we have St James's Palace, and a quick wave to the King at Buckingham Palace, who is out on a balcony waiting for the flyby. You can configure your own UM690 with a choice of 16, 32 or a massive 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. And you won't be short of storage with choices of 512, 1TB, 2TB or fast NVMe SSD. There are two HDMI ports, and you can use the USB Type-C with HDMI output for up to triple monitors. There is fast 2.5GB Ethernet and Wi-Fi 6 for fast data transfer, as well as Bluetooth 5.2 for connecting wireless peripherals to the UM690. There are 4 USB Type-A ports, so that's plenty for your mouse, keyboard and flight sticks. On our left is the BT Tower. It was the tallest building in London until the 1980s, and is now used for data communications. We are returning back to East London now to drop you off at City Airport for lunch. Here's some quick info on other games that work on the UM690. On Forza Horizon 5 you can run at low graphics 720p and get 125 frames per second. You can of course increase the settings for higher quality graphics. On Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 you can run at 720p on the minimal graphics settings for around 100 frames per second. Again, you can increase the graphics. With the UM690 you can play a variety of games. Newer ones will run just fine, and it really does depend on the game. Flight Simulator, for example, is very demanding on the graphics, but we still get very playable frame rates, but at lower settings. Other games do generally run at higher frames per second, and as such you can increase the graphics or run at higher resolutions. The UM690 is also very good for emulation. You can run all of the classic 8 and 16-bit consoles, as well as Dreamcast, PS1 and PS2 with no issues at all. For PlayStation 3, providing the game is compatible, you can generally run them at great speeds with some minor shader caching now and again. You can even play compatible games on the Ryzen and user emulators. Not all games run at full speed though, but there are a decent number that do. Please put on your seatbelts for landing. I am more of an elite dangerous pilot and we haven't got auto docking. You can learn more about the UM690 gaming mini PC and the rest of our range at droix.co.uk and droix.net. Landed right by the picnic spot. Hope you enjoyed the lunch. Thank you for flying with DroiX Scenic Tours.